Viking women rowed for up to 16 hours during raids. They hauled fishing nets that crushed the hands of men twice their size. They farmed through winter with iron tools and 0 rest days. A 180-pound Viking woman would outlast any modern gym-trained athlete in every endurance test you could design. Not because she trained harder, because she trained differently. Here's what that means and exactly why your current lower body routine is producing the wrong kind of strength. This will sound wrong at first. The Viking woman did not train. She worked. Every single day from before sunrise to after dark, her body was a tool under constant load. Rowing a longship was not a 30-minute cardio session. It was 12 to 16 hours of continuous pulling against open ocean resistance. Hauling fishing nets was not a farmer's carry circuit. It was hundreds of pounds of wet rope dragged from depth without a break, without a spotter, without a set number of reps. Viking physical culture was not built on progressive overload with planned recovery windows. It was built on continuous output under real load. The nervous system did not learn to peak for 10 repetitions and then rest. It learned to sustain strength indefinitely, to keep firing, keep pulling, keep moving long after every signal said stop. That adaptation is categorically different from anything a standard lower body program produces, and modern science now has a name for it. The research on occupational athletes, dock workers, fishermen, and construction laborers confirms what Viking skeletal remains show. Sustained functional work produces bone density, tendon thickness, and capillary networks that gym training never replicates. These women were not trying to build elite legs. They were surviving. The elite's legs were the evidence left behind. Modern lower body training is optimized for maximum output in short bursts. You squat heavy, you rest for 90 seconds. You squat heavy again. The result is a muscle that is powerful for approximately 10 to 15 repetitions and then shuts down. This builds size. There is nothing wrong with it for aesthetics, but it does not build the second type of strength, the type that holds up when it actually matters. The type that Viking women built not through training, but through the relentless demands of daily survival. The mistake most women make is confusing muscle size with functional endurance strength. These are not the same thing. A well-developed glute that can produce maximum force for 10 reps has been trained for a completely different physiological outcome than a glute that can sustain moderate force for 300 reps. The first looks impressive in a hip thrust. The second would have survived a Viking raid. Most modern programs build the first and completely ignore the second. Think about what that distinction means practically. The goal of a modern leg session is a stimulus that you then recover from. The goal of Viking physical labor was uninterrupted, sustained output with no recovery window at all. Two completely different training signals, two completely different physiological outcomes. Your program needs elements of both, but most women are only ever training the first one. The biological principle behind Viking endurance strength is called work capacity training, and the specific adaptation it drives is mitochondrial density. Mitochondria are the power plants inside every muscle cell. They convert oxygen into usable energy. The more of them you have, and the denser the capillary networks that feed them, the longer your muscle can sustain output before it fails. Here is the critical fact that most fitness content will never tell you. 3 sets of 12 reps will never create the same metabolic infrastructure as continuous loaded movement. The mitochondrial and capillary adaptations that produce endurance strength only occur under sustained demand. Your body builds more power plants only when the current power plants run long enough to reach their limit. Short burst training never triggers that response. Sustained loaded work always does. There is a second adaptation that work capacity training produces that standard programming never reaches: capillary density. Capillaries are the microvessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients into the muscle and carry waste products out. Heavy sets with planned rest periods never fully stress this delivery network because rest allows the system to clear. Sustained continuous movement forces the capillary network to expand, to literally grow more vessels so that the muscle can stay fed under prolonged demand. That expansion is permanent. It is part of what gives the Viking physique its carved, dense visual quality, even at rest. This is why the Viking woman's legs looked dense rather than simply large. She had not built bigger muscle fibers through hypertrophy alone. She had built more metabolically active tissue muscle that burned more fuel at rest, sustained more output under fatigue, and recovered faster between demands. The physique was a byproduct. The function came first. Now here's the exercise. Exercise 1, Farmer's Carry. The farmer's carry is the closest modern replication of the Viking work pattern. Load 2 filled water jugs, kettlebells, or heavy bags, one in each hand. Walk continuously for as long as your grip and posture hold. Do not set them down at a predetermined distance. Walk until form breaks. Rest for 30 seconds. Repeat 4 times. The goal is not a fixed rep count. The goal is sustained output under load. This is where the mitochondrial adaptation begins. An important note on load selection. You are not training for maximum weight here. You are training for maximum duration under a manageable weight. If your grip fails in under 45 seconds, the load is too heavy. If you can walk for 3 minutes without any degradation in posture, the load is too light. Find the weight that creates a genuine fight to maintain form somewhere between 60 and 90 seconds. That is your Viking threshold. Exercise 2, weighted step-up continuous circuit. The weighted step-up continuous circuit eliminates the rest that standard leg training builds in. Find a sturdy box, bench, or stair. Hold your water jugs at your sides. Step up and down continuously for 90 seconds per leg without pause. Your heart rate will climb, your legs will argue with you. That argument is the signal. 3 rounds per leg with 60 seconds between rounds. This is not a burnout set. It is an endurance stimulus your posterior chain has almost certainly never experienced. Exercise 3, single leg RDL endurance sets, 15 plus reps. Single leg Romanian deadlifts performed for endurance sets of 15 or more reps transform a standard strength exercise into a work capacity movement. The key is the tempo. Lower slowly over 4 seconds. Rise under control. No bouncing, no momentum, no pause at the top to catch your breath. The hip hinge pattern stays loaded continuously, exactly the way a Viking pulling a fishing net stays loaded. 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps per leg. Once 20 clean reps feel manageable, add resistance. Pay particular attention to what you feel at the bottom of the movement. That deep hamstring stretch under load, that pulling sensation where the muscle is at maximum length, is the exact stimulus that builds the hamstring to glute junction, responsible for the posterior chain density that made Viking legs visually distinct from every other body type in history. Do not rush through that position. Own it. Stay in it. Let it do its work. Exercise 4, bodyweight squat 100 rep challenge. The bodyweight squat 100 rep challenge is not a workout. It is a test of your current metabolic infrastructure. Perform 100 bodyweight squats at a controlled, continuous pace. No stopping, no resting at the top. Track how long it takes and how many times you have to fight the urge to pause. Repeat this challenge weekly. Watch the time drop and the resistance fade. This is your Viking baseline, the threshold your lower body needs to clear before adding external load to any of the movements above. The Spartan woman did not train to outlast you. She trained because outlasting was the requirement. The Viking Shield-Maiden did not design a posterior chain program. She built the most metabolically dense lower body tissue in human history because her life demanded it, day after day, without exception. The physique, dense, powerful, functionally unbreakable, was not the goal. It was the inevitable result of training for something real. Start these 4 movements this week. Within 60 days, you will feel a category of lower body endurance that no set of 12 has ever given you. Subscribe to the next video, which covers the exact Soviet recovery protocol for training between these sessions without burning out. The work itself is the training.